Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Today we're going to be talking about the two new DLC 4 teasers for the upcoming zombies map, Toten. The first one was a Treyarch profile picture that just got changed, and it's another one of the kind of green computer screens that we've seen a million times before at this point, except this one is showing us a word written in Russian, which is translated to Ascension, and a logo which some of you may recognize as being basically the logo of the Ascension group. Now, I'm saying basically the logo because this particular version of it, I suppose, doesn't have the Soviet sickle and star. It's obviously got the rocket insignia and it's got the kind of blast at the base and all of that jazz, but no sickle and star in sight, which is just an interesting note to point out, I think. Also, if you wanted to kind of get a little bit sort of GCSE English literature on this thing, you could say that it looks almost like the rocket is blasting off from the base of a pyramid, and that could therefore relate to the MPD somehow. We do have a mystery MPD from the Alpha Omega intro that basically has gone kind of untalked about since the map came out. Obviously, there is a pyramid in the map, and that is something that we have seen, but there's a version of an MPD in the intro which is still a mystery, so it may well be that that is something that is present in DLC 4, and maybe there'll be some kind of neat little tie-in here to this rocket. So that's that. That's the first teaser. I don't think there's a huge amount more to say about it other than the fact that it's clearly a continuation of the thread that Treyarch started when they also teased us Harvey Yena. That was something that I didn't really expect to have happen. It was a really cool kind of twist, and I made a whole video talking about why I think Harvey Yena is going to actually be bringing dragons to DLC 4, and how this map, and I'm calling this now, is basically going to be the map of fire and ice. I reckon that that's kind of the direction that they might be going with this, fire and ice. So, on that note, let's talk about the second teaser, which says, when you can't take the heat, it's time to improvise. And we've been given an image, a blueprint, from the 23rd of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 1963, and a blueprint on it. And there's a weapon design, and you've got the front and the side and the back view, as you can see on your screen right now. There's a lot of text that has been obscured, and it looks very similar to our favorite wonder weapon of all time, depending on who you ask, the Thunder Gun. If you want to kind of place where this might fit into the zombie story, well, the previous year on November 11th, Gersh had begun to work on Project Thunder, and the following year, but just before this blueprint was created, on June 15th, the Pentagon began development of their versions of the Wunderwaffe DG2. So that kind of gives you a feel for how far along Wonder Weapon development was at this time. On August 17th of that year, the Pentagon began development on their version of the Winter's Howl as well, and it would only be a little later on November 4th, 1963, that Gersh announced to the committee that Project Thunder was nearing completion. This blueprint, therefore, could well be just our Project Thunder kind of blueprint, or Treyarch could be doing what they did with Alpha Omega and saying, you know what, we've given you the Ray Gun Mark II before, now we're going to give you elemental versions. Here, we could be getting an elemental Thunder Gun. That is genuinely a possibility. I think that there's a decent chance we get elemental scavengers in this map, which, if it happens, I'll be really disappointed with, to be honest, because I feel like it's a cop-out just reusing a wonder weapon like that and giving it 4 different colors and saying it's a new thing. I just don't think that that adds to the replayability and the fun of the map, personally. But a Thunder Gun that was sort of crossed with a Winter's Howl could be a cool little bit of novelty to try out when the map comes out. I mean, an Ice Thunder Gun is something that I feel like would fit in very well with the map's aesthetic, and it's the sort of thing that I could imagine they might be leading towards here. It could, of course, just be a regular Thunder Gun, but if it was, would they be giving us a teaser like this? I don't think so. I think that that would be an extremely strange approach from Treyarch. And so I think it's more likely that this is basically some kind of souped up version of the Thunder Gun that's going to make its way into the map when we actually end up playing on Toten, aka the remake of Call of the Dead. Now, I want to hear your thoughts, guys. Are you excited by the thought of the Thunder Gun coming back? Do you feel like it's a little bit cheap to just keep reusing wonder weapons? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. I think that at this point, as much as I really want to be enthusiastic about this map, there is a little bit of a feeling I have of, man, these teasers kind of haven't amped me up in the way that DLC 3's teasers did. Like, DLC 3's teasers coincided perfectly with me really wanting to just try and get as much energy into the zombies community as I could. And it worked really well, I think. Like, we all ended up being pretty damn excited for Alpha Omega launch. But so far, the DLC 4 teasers have been a bit lackluster, maybe. They've been a bit too almost straightforward. The Harvey Yena video was, I think, a really good one, and that teaser provoked a lot of good discussion. But beyond that, things have been a little bit of a straight shot so far, and that's not really what I expect from Treyarch, right? Like, I expect them to surprise me with twists and things that I'm not expecting, and so, like, a Thunder Gun is sort of something that I saw in Ascension 10 years ago. So, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm kind of getting in my own head about this a little bit, and the trailer that hopefully will be dropping tomorrow will blow all my expectations out of the water. But I guess, Treyarch, if you're listening to this, I would love to have just some weird teasers dropped in the next few days that confuse everyone. I think the confusion builds hype in a way that very normal things could never do. And so, Thunder Gun's great, and I love that weapon so damn much, and it'll be very useful to have one on the map, but at the same time, I would also kind of like to see some new stuff, alright? That's my thoughts on this so far, guys. Let me know what you think. I've been MrRoflWaffles, and obviously subscribe for more zombies videos coming in the next couple days. Bye for now.